Good day, everyone. I thought this was a little bit less common, but it might be more common than I thought. Probably more so, especially if you're on a well and you have a pressure tank. Pressure in there can vary so much between where it starts and turns off, or the temperature in the house. In the winter, the basement can get cold, so the pressure will naturally be lower in the tank. So I think that's one issue. If you think you have warm water coming back feeding through your cold pipe. So that's the first thing. There's a whole host of things. You'd have to talk to a plumber. I mean, all that plus pipe diameters and position of, the pipe and the joints and all that stuff. So, but I didn't have this issue before with my old tank. I don't know if it's a different tank design, but I think I'm just going to do the easiest thing for now. And we're going to install, it's called a check valve. This is what it looks like. And we'll get into this a little bit more in a second. This is a nice little push-on one. It's a Shark Bite style. I think they're well known. But just as a test, I want to show you something. It's natural, say this cold water in right now is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. My well water is around 56 degrees Fahrenheit, so it has gone up. And that's perfectly normal because heat's just naturally transferring up into the copper pipe because it's a really good conductor. So may not be an issue, but not a big deal at this point. But what I want to do, I'll do a quick demo here of a couple demos. I am going to get someone upstairs, say, to flush my toilet. It should just be cold water, and you would think there would be no impact on the system for that. So let's go, I'll go get someone to do that. Hang on. Okay, so let's just monitor this. Okay, they just flushed the toilet now. We started off at 70, I think it was 73. See, it already went up to 75. Now it's at 77. So to me, that's a really good indication. It's up to 80 now. So that's a good indication. There's water flowing out of this cold, or out of the hot water tank through this cold pipe, the cold in. I think that all has to do with some pressure issues with my tank, but we're going to get this sorted out. So hang on. My pressure tank just went on. Let's just see what happens real quick here. Or my water pressure, my jet pump. Caught me off guard there. I'm just curious if this is going to drop down quickly. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's coming down faster than it would naturally come down. So, obviously, I think the water's going in and out. I don't know. It's interesting. Oh, let's see what we can determine. Okay, so the toilet upstairs was just flushed. My tank's making some noises. And right away the temperature's going up. So it's natural for the temperature to increase when the water's not being used. But it should not be going up in this case like this quickly. So obviously there's some sort of a flow. Hot water's flowing up through the cold pipe. So I'm just going to do a simple fix on this for now, and we'll call it a day. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I took off the raft that was on here. I put this foam stuff on my cold and hot pipes, but anyway, so this is the cold inlet. One thing I would suggest, if your pipe's in good shape, when you're using these press-on fittings, which I have not, honestly, I haven't used these before. I do all my stuff in copper. But I thought this might be a situation. It's a check valve. So if your pipe is in really good shape, you don't really want to sand it unless it's like really corroded and stuff. But what I found is you just take like a rag, and I'm just going to smoothen it out. Like if there's any tiny bit of corrosion on there, I think it's important to have the pipe somewhat smooth and in really good shape for using one of these press-on fittings. I mean, it makes sense. Before you cut your pipe, make sure now I'm fortunate, I put a valve right here so I can turn the water off. And then what you want to do is go turn on, well, in this case, if I just turn on my hot water, it's going to depressurize the water tank. So I just turned on my hot water tap, and I'm going to leave it on. because this basically shuts off the water to everything. Well, there's two situations. So we want to put this in here. But if you have very rigid piping, when you cut this out, it's going to be extremely difficult to put this in. And I believe I'm going to have enough play to do this without going through extra steps. But so this thing, what have you determined? There's a little flow arrow on here, and the pipe goes in a certain distance, and I've determined it's just slightly above where the start of this arrow is. So I'm going to have to cut out a piece here and there. It's probably almost like maybe 3/4 of an inch, but basically I'm going to cut out this much pipe, sort of about the thickness of my finger. I'm going to cut that out of here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Yeah, I should have enough play, as I said, to definitely I'll have enough play to put this in without doing a cut and then grinding out this thing so I can slide it back up and down. See, this is what I was getting at. If you had this is a bigger one, but normally you could you'd only be able to put this on that far. And then if you had to put that valve in, and if this pipe was super rigid and you can't move it, then that's when you grind out these things. And then you would slide this right up in there. And then later on, when you come back, join it together, you can slide it right back down, center it, and then you would solder it. So that's what I'm getting at. That's if you have no play in the pipe, but I do. And as I said, it looks like to me, I have to cut off, not my finger, but about the width of my finger. So about right there. There we go. I'm pretty close. I probably could have maybe cut it maybe another 1/8 of an inch longer, but as I said, there's enough room. I'll be able to fix that up. Oh, and then we have to, there's a burr that gets created on the inside of these pipes. Now, you can get this fancy little burr remover tool. I don't have one. Well, I kind of have one. I just don't know where it is. But I can just take a screwdriver and get this going around the edge. So do that to the other pipe, and I also would recommend just a very on the edge, do a slight sanding just to make sure nothing's sticking up that's sharp, because it will wreck the little seal on that push connector. Okay, so it feels pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and slide this bottom in. Oh, the flow arrow, want it pointing down. And that's on. And I just barely have enough there. And there, she's all slid in there. Okay, so I'm going to leave the hot water on because I want any air or whatever to come out of there. Slowly turn this guy on here. Oops. So again, I still have the hot water tap on. Now I'm going to go turn the hot water off. I could hear the bubbles come out of there, so all the air should be out. And, like, I think we did a good repair here. There's no apparent leaks. But I would suggest over the next couple days, you just monitor that. Yeah, looks good. Okay, I'm going to put my wrap back on, and we're going to do some more testing. Okay, so again, it's natural for this cold pipe temperature to, I mean, if everything sat and the water wasn't used, I bet these would both equalize at whatever temperature. But remember before, when I flushed the toilet upstairs, this temperature would start going up right away and quickly. So the toilet has just been flushed. I can hear the water running down here. So I would expect that this should not change very much. Which it's not. So you remember before in the other test how this temperature, you know, it went up quite a bit and quickly. Okay, so let's just monitor this. Okay, they just flushed the toilet now. We started off at 70, I think it was 73. See, it already went up to 75. Now it's at 77. So to me, that's a really good indication. It's up to 80 now. So that's a good indication there's water flowing out of this cold, or out of the hot water tank through this cold pipe, the cold in. I think that all has to do with some pressure issues with my tank, but we're going to get this sorted out. So hang on. So to me, that's good. And let's just see what happens when I turn on the hot water now. Before, even with just the hot water on, this temperature, my water coming in is only about 56 degrees, and it didn't seem to even want to go down. So the hot water's on, and I just want to see, because now we should have cold water running down. I'm pretty sure when we were doing this before, it wouldn't even go down below 60 or something, but I'll have to look on the video. Okay, so that looks good. Yeah, it's getting colder. That's fine. And I'm going to have someone flush that toilet upstairs again. And we can see before, when we did that, this temperature, it would spike up quite a bit. So I'm going to holler. Can you flush that toilet again? Flush it again? Yeah. Okay, the toilet was just flushed, and we want to see. We don't want this cold water temperature to go up like it did before without the backflow valve in there. I mean, it's a quick fix, maybe not necessarily the best fix, but for now, it's good enough. It's working fine. Yeah, because before that temperature would have been going up right away. Okay, so good. I think that was successful. If you're like an actual plumber, I don't know, if you have some time, maybe put a comment in about, you know, different situations. I know some people might cross-feed their pipe somehow, or I don't know, but that's not the case here. Again, I was talking about my basement is cold. I'm on a well. Pressure tank has less pressure in the winter unless you pump it up, but I leave things well enough alone if they don't actually need addressing, you know. And again, you know, pipe diameters, where the joints are. But this is very promising. I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope this helped.